So instead of sharing slides, I thought I'd give you all an insight into how me and my brother operate our fitness studio in our gym. So just for context, I won't just introducing ourselves because I know we did that in the last one. But I run Vamp Gym with my brother. We have two locations as of right now. We're literally in the middle of launching our second as we speak. So my brother is he's doing all of the consultations, hence why it's just me today, which is quite timely actually, because I'm going to talk through our whole system and our whole process for acquisition and how that could potentially play into your studios. Because we also own a open gym as well with over 900 members too, so we kind of have experience both models. But it's really been a semi-private studio that we've looked to grow a little bit more aggressively over the last year. Also, for added context, Jack and I were also online coaches for online personal trainers for a long time. We ended working with, I think over clients at one point. We got to a point where we didn't really the industry so much anymore. We wanted to get our hands dirty on the ground and actually work with people in person. So it just so happened that we had one guy who reached out to us who owned a fitness studio in his local town. Said, look guys, I don't know how to market this. I know you guys have experience within marketing and sales and everything. Help me. And we got on, and we ended up fit his gym. Needed to look for another within like 2 weeks. So our systems and the processes that we had in place clearly worked. So it made sense for us to then start what we do now, which is actually operating a gym chain. So in today's session, obviously the title of this is getting to your first K, and my whole thought process on this is that it's fairly easy to get to your first 10K in terms of cash collected. It's a little bit more to get to that figure on a monthly recurring basis. So in today's training, I'm going to go how to do both, how it fits in with the system that we do. And again, like one just to kind of like preface this with is when I was in the online coaching industry, and perhaps some of you have been victims of this in the past, whereby you're somebody delivering a piece of thing and they'll tell you exactly what to do and nothing else works and you should know this whole framework and this whole methodology. I fundamentally disagree with that. Everything works and everything doesn't work. It all depends on what your business objectives are. So what I thought I would frame this whole training in is almost from the perspective of us, so we can kind of show you what we do on the inside, how we obviously were able to get to our first 10K, how we earn over I think like 10 to 20K monthly recurring revenue from White. We're literally in the middle of filling another one at the moment before we open. So I'd give you a good idea in terms of what we do as opposed to me here telling you what to do. I know all your models and all your objectives are completely different to ours. Just another one, if you can use the text chat layout, really handy. Just maybe Josh, if you keep an eye on so my questions as we go. And just a little plug before we begin. We are actually consult with studio owners and helping their studios specifically. But we're currently full in terms of our client intake at the moment. We only ever work with 10 clients at a time, so way that we can protect intellectual property as well. But we do have a free weekly newsletter that goes out on Monday morning every week, which covers everything that I'm going to talk about in today's session, as well as loads of other stuff. You can find that at thefitprep.com. Right. Without it, let me get into everything now. So I'm just going to share my screen. There's going to be a lot of before sharing and everything as we speak. But the first thing I wanted to share is what we call our sales dashboard and our date metrics. So one of the biggest themes that I think is almost the difference between studio owner who gets to 10K and beyond and is able to scale fast is there a bit to track the metrics that matter within the business. Who here tracks their data on a daily, weekly, monthly, or an annual basis as we speak? This is everybody's opportunity to be non-vulnerable. Don't, that's completely fine. Hopefully in the next 30 minutes, once we leave this call, you'll get a spreadsheet made up and be cracking these numbers. So just for context, this is a daily metrics dashboard that we've and this is for our news site, hence why looking a bit empty and bare at the moment. Obviously in the last week we began our sales cycle, so we've to collect some cash in this last week. We're going to continue running sales to the site over the next 2 weeks. But as you can see, like we track everything from a broad level, a month, and then we have separate sheets which are dedicated to the individual days, the month. Okay, and I know that might be a little bit kind of overboard. But our way of knowing exactly how to operate the business and how to scale it and what rate it's at all is dependent on numbers, which is why I have to have my finger on the pulse and track these numbers on a daily basis. So in terms of the metrics that we actually track in our star, as it were, we track leads, appointments booked, appointments, front end sales, new members, and our cost per acquisition, and ultimately our churn. Okay, so just dig deeper into some of those. The leads are the people that, in our eyes, obviously multiple different people call leads in different ways, but we kind of qualify a lead if they exchange personal details with us into some sort of CRM email list. Okay, so that's how we generate leads. We do that through our organic content, through Facebook ads, and all that kind of stuff. Appointments booked. So we actually have consultations that we sit in per person. These are 30 minutes. It's choreographed. In-person conversation that we have booked into our diary, hence why Jack is here today. And our is to get somebody from lead into actually booking in an appointment. Okay, once that appointment is booked in, then the challenge is how do we make that person actually shows up for that appointment, or at least tells us for that appointment time that they need to show up. So this whole process, right between booked, that is all about trying to make sure that they get their reminders and so on and so forth. And I'm going to get into some of that as well. The whole consultation, the appointment, is towards actually getting them up for a fixed duration program. So we have a 6-week challenge. We rewrap in many different ways. That is put in place to give them a clear route to their goal within a fixed time, because most people want to get in a taxi and they know exactly where they're going, as opposed to getting in the taxi and having an idea. So our whole approach to that is that we have a fixed duration 6 program, which is $299 up front. The reason we have that as a fixed fee as well, without constraining to monthly memberships or anything like that as of just yet, is because fix is a pain point in like I said, in a clear duration, but it also enables us to subsidize the ads and roll that back into running our Facebook financing them and so on and so forth. So that's why we collect more cash up front, because what then the goal is 3 weeks into that 6 weeks program, we then every single person back for what we call a progress check-in, where we then look to convert the monthly membership. So that monthly membership is recurring. We bill that at £59 per week, which we discount for anybody that has gone through the challenge and anybody that is referred. So that works out about £216 a month. And then we have a 2-month cancellation. But all of this in place to then give us a clear metric. This is the cost per acquisition is our absolute. That's the figure that we pin everything. If we know, for example, that it costs us, let's say, £50 to acquire a new customer at $299, then it means only we made way more from the front end, but we also have enough to then refinance the next customer and the next customer. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. These are the metrics that we track. As I said, I do that every single day for the previous day. So various little things in here in terms of like impressions from the Facebook ads, the clicks, the click-through ads, the leads, the appointments books, taken, sale, ad spend, cost per lead, people that are recommitted, people that are churned, and sales, that kind of stuff. So as you can see here, literally in this last week, so we've been running ads all of the month to our waiting list, and this last week switched them directly to the consultation. So we've just opened our door, at least opened our doors for pre-sale, where in this last week, it's been a very busy boy. I've been able to, well, this was September, sorry, let's go into October and actually track the numbers for you yet. But let me just zoom out slightly. So we had 3 sales from free appointment, but as you can see here, we had a huge spike in 84 appointments booked in one day. And then another 8 the following day, just all of this time and plan was all geared towards that offer being released. So we could do a whole nother training on actually launch your fitness studio. But if I start talking about that now, then I think we'll be here. But as you can see, literally in the first kind of 4 days of sales, we had 13 appointments taken on the first day, 11 sales made, which attributed to 3.2 front end cash. And as we look to October, we had 3 and then 3 sales yesterday, which was 8. No, this was on the first, or 897, and then we had another 7 sign-ups yesterday. and we've got sort of still out 75 upon looked in the diary. So this gives us the confidence to get to a point where we can scale our sales fast, because we know that we have this number right here, the cost per acquisition £6.82 to hang our hat on and make sure that we know exactly what we're doing. Okay. So I'm going to now move into a little story as to how it all comes back to the title of this training, which is getting to your first K. Because as I said, it's easy to get to your first 10K in terms of cash collected. In our case, the 6 challenge. It's harder to get to your 10K monthly recurring. Basically, the onus is on you as an operator and as a coach, perhaps deliver a great product, a great experience to a point where people retain and want to continue actually sign up as a monthly. Okay. So as I said, we have leads that book appointments. We get them to sit those. We then sell them on a front end challenge, and then we recommit those people into monthly recurring membership, which then gives us that CPA can then use to scale. Okay. Now, the next part I want to just go through is this very short story about how we also, like I said, work with other studio owners around the country, and I had one who came up to me the other day. Let's just call him Gareth for the sake of this training, and he is running Facebook ads, running exactly the same model, exactly the same price point. So I just went through just then. And he went 4 or 5 days, and his acquisition was starting to increase because his ads were starting to what he thought were fatiguing. I looked at it, and obviously I never look to track and manage ads on a 3 or 4 day basis. And I always look at least a 7-day rolling period, especially within a short local radius, for example. But he was saying, look, my ads are starting to fatigue, my cost per acquisition is up. I need better ads. I need to focus on getting more leads or better leads. And this is always thought that most studio owners, at least beginner studios, go to, which is if they're not seeing the money in their bank account at the end of the month, their natural inclination is I need more opportunities in my pipeline. I need to run better ads. I need more people contacting me via my website. But hopefully, what I've just shown you there's lots of other components in place, which when neglected, can have a huge negative impact on the bottom line of the business. So what we did is actually focus in on his numbers. We get all of our guys to track their numbers exactly using the exact spreadsheet you just saw there on a daily basis. We're able to see that his all of his conversions. So we could see that his leads to book, I've just got him up here, was 61%. Okay, so out of every 100 leads, 61 were booking in appointments. His appointments 52%. His front end sales were 66%, and his new monthly member on those front end sales was 30%. Okay, so we were to then compare that to what ours is as of right now. So this is on a 12-month basis. And again, we've had more time to vet the product, but a lot of brand loyalty. This other guy I'm just mentioning here is kind of at the beginning of his journey. So we've had time to really kind of hone in on these numbers. But you can see here. And I'll give you this. I'll give you this later as well, Josh, maybe to send to everybody. So these are our numbers right here. So our current cost per lead is £3.55. And we calculate basically by the amount of leads. So the ad spend for that given month, divided by the leads, which gives us a cost per lead. So £3.55 is a relatively cheap cost per lead. Some of us may have experienced running ads before, maybe getting leads for £10+ or whatever, or euros, depending on where you are. But we attribute our cheap cost per lead figure down to multiple different things. So we have creative, we have good organic content, we've built good products, so our word of mouth is strong, we get more referrals and so on. Okay, so that's why we have relatively blended cost per lead. Now, if we were to look at these percentages, which are our real data based on the month period we were in, what we can see is out of 100 leads, that for argument's sake, we get 68 booked on average. Out of those 68, 49 actually show up. 43 then actually shows, and then 31 then sign up for monthly membership. Okay, so if you look at that from 100 leads, that gives us the front end sales cash collected up front £12,882.36. We're able to actually predict this based on the fact that we run these numbers every single day. This is why, for example, like I mentioned earlier, we have so much confidence launching studios in multiple different cases, is because we have the data to then support our decision. Okay, so we have more clarity over it. Now, Out of those front end sales, then obviously a portion of those people are going to sign to be monthly members. So with our current recommit rate, which is 73%, we have 31 monthly members on average. Okay, come from 100 leads, which then gives us a monthly recurring revenue of 6.799 fee for 1p. Right. Hopefully, I've answered the question there in terms of getting to your first K. If you want that in front end cash collected, then it's essentially 100 leads at £3.5 with an ad spend of about £355. Of course, that then equal 100. Okay, that if you're following exactly the blueprint we do. So again, there's so many tools attached to this, and then if you run the same funnel, the same model thing, you might want to input your own numbers in here in terms of what your prices are and so on. But this gives you a good idea. Now, if you wanted 10k monthly recurring, then we just basically have to keep pushing these numbers up to get to that. So 100 leads, so that costs £532 at the moment to acquire those leads that we can then predict will then turn into that MRR right there. Now, there's a few other things just to reveal. Obviously, this looks incredibly easy and simple and almost picked by numbers when you look at it like this, but there's multiple constraints that reveal themselves. So we've always said that acquisition is never a huge bottleneck or constraint within a business because we follow it to a T like so, and we have ads that are consistently perform and we can use data to support all of our decisions. The next constraint is we've viewed it right here. It's frame, right? So, for example, if we're looking to launch a studio in 2 months, which is what we're doing right now, then we can say, okay, right, in order to actually fill the timetable with our semi-private model, so the way that we have people who book flexibly into the timetable, and they have like 3 credits a week, for example, with LegitFit. Then in order for us to get to 65 sales, so our capacity on our timetable is around 60 to 8. That's just for argument's sake, say it's 65 as it is right now. Then we enough time in our diary, or Jack's diary, because he gets this fortunate job, for 102 appointment. Okay. Now, in order to fulfill that many appointments in a week, alongside operating the business and everything like that, is very difficult. This is we have like a 2 to 4 week sales cycle, where the diary is completely free for him to input as many of these as possible. But not if you manage to get these booked in, then there comes other issues where Jack's time would have naturally be implemented in other areas of the business. Now we need to fulfill those, or perhaps he's now getting fatigued towards the day because he's sitting to back 30-minute appointments. So there's a lot of other things that come into play. But remember, acquisition isn't one of them. Then the next one is 65 people all signing up at once. How do we onboard that many people all at once? That becomes an issue. And how do we make sure that their first use of the product, especially within a new setting, is so good that 73% of them want to continue on? So those are different problems that then reveal themselves as a result of this number on the top here, which is all downstream from, which is the leads. Okay. Following back to the story I was just mentioning, we had a guy reach out to us. Let's just call him Gareth. These are his metrics right here. I'm going to this question to you guys. So let's use the same example. These are actually his numbers. So he has £5.33 cost per lead. So same 100 leads, he's actually going to have to spend £533. With our systems and everything we've dialed in, we can spend just here. We can spend 3,555. So you already see we're saving money on front end, therefore making more. Okay, but these are his actual conversion figures. This is a guy that he needed to run better ads. He needed more leads. Okay, so I want you to these and actually have to figure out where part of his business he needs to fix, and actually how he can ultimately make way more money. So he has 60% of those leads to book appointment. 52% of those booked actually show up at 32. 66% of those who have shown up actually sign up, so that's 21 in sales, and then 38% of those front end sales committing as a monthly recurring member. So in chat, I can't actually see the chat right, but I'm hoping Ash will reveal it. Can you share with me where you think Gareth needs to fix, why it perhaps isn't running better ads or pretty content? Anybody want to have a stab in luck? but there's multiple areas that he could fix. Like this is, I'm kind of like want to pinpoint the one where the lowest hanging fruit is at the moment. As we, anybody want to give it a go? We have a shy bunch of us again, Josh.
I can give it a go if you want.
Yeah, you go.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, I hope that will pop up for me somewhere. I have no idea where this chat is, by the way.
So I don't know if you got to see that.
Yeah, okay, cool. Appointments sat percentages to improve. Gotcha. Anybody else want to not let Josh be the only one to guess here in the chat? Rob, putting people into members. Anybody else? Maybe if I were to go back to our current metrics as we speak, and by the way, like I'm by no means like flexing or anything here. Like these always be improved. Like 100% if possible. So those are our metrics, right? These are Gareth's. We've got appointments
Rob,
which needs to improve, converting people into members. Anybody else? No, it's going to go with those two. Cool. Well, if I was to look at Gareth's business, obviously this is kind of the position we're in as consultants. I would say your leads to 61%, pretty good in my eyes. Like you that tells me that you're good word of mouth. You good content. Ads are performing as they 52% of those booked to sat. When we first launched Studio last year, 50% were like our minimum. So if we kind of figured out if we get over the 50% of people to sit, then it's not horrendous. I would look at this as like the second best metric to improve upon. Like you said, Ash, like that could improve multiple ways. I'm going to show you in a sec on how to improve all of these. Front end sale, 66%, pretty good. Good. As you said, we have incredibly experienced sales in multiple different businesses. That's 80%. Now this is one I want to click on. So 21 of those front end sales ends up with a third percentage recommit to a monthly membership. That is the area of business. Oh, I said is wrong in there. Gareth's business that needs fixing. Okay. So it's how you're able to actually make these decisions without kind of like guesswork or anything like that, or using your instinct. Like this is how you can actually make real decisions and real data. And as we said in the previous training, it's that Peter Drucker quote, which is what gets managed, gets managed. It couldn't be true when you're running your own fitness studio. And until I get into 10K, I didn't want to come here today and give you a load of fluff and say like it's you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. It's ultimately about these numbers and using these numbers as a route to then reverse engineer that figure. So if it was front end, then it would be 100 leads that you would need based on this data right here. If you're more of a big beginner like Gareth, then in order to 10K, it might be double that, 200 to get to 12, right, and so on. But at least this gives you an idea in terms of what you can expect to spend on advertising, how many leads you're likely to get with that based on your cost per lead figure, as appointments booked, sat, front end sales, new monthly members, and so on. Is that helpful? Cool. A thumbs up if that's helpful. I only see Sarah at the moment. Sarah, you're literally right there with Josh at the moment. So yeah, thanks for coming. So in terms of like how improve upon some of these metrics, this is where like the fun marketing side of me gets to truly work. Is I can look at all of these and come up with ways to improve all of them. Okay. So if I'll share with you now, I've just got a quick like Apple note. That's up for the purpose of this training. Let's just share it. Let me just share my desktop. Cool. Oh, doesn't let me do that either. But it's good. Can you? I'm actually what I'm going to put this on a quick Google Doc. Some reason I just make an Apple Doc. Cool. In fact, but before I actually show you this, let's kind of work a little bit. I feel like we could be way more responsive in the chat. It is all of those metrics I just mentioned. So we've got leads, appointments booked, SAT, front end sales, and new members. If I was to say to you, I need more leads, what was some idea that you feel like could help with that? And I'm going to start adding in here. Anybody want to throw it in the chat? There's no wrong answer, is what my teacher used to tell me. Cool. Anyone have a go? I mean, you're all business owners, you're all studio owners, gym owners. If you needed more leads, what would you do? Need more opportunities in your pipeline, what would you do? Or would you do nothing? The proof result.
Rory said this.
Perfect. Amazing. Anybody want to join Rory? Rory's the one who's generating leads at the moment. Nope. Okay, well, at the moment, we've got one generating leads. Appointment, Rory, help. If I needed more appointments, what would you do with those leads? Harry, referral of current members. Okay, cool. That's referral of current members. There's really more of a retention play, perhaps. Client referral. Cool. Appointments that if you needed those appointments to actually show, what would you have in place? Anything in place to ensure that happens? No, wait for the delay. Appointments to actually closing. Then there's some things obviously we can have in place there, and new members and so on. But let me just show you this quick doc I made with some rough ideas, some kind of a rough analysis of some of the things I actually gave to Gareth when I was helping Gareth. Okay, so number one, leads is all about content, better ads, mouth referrals. Essentially, this is the top of the funnel. This is stuff that brings people into your ecosystem, brings people into your email. So those are like three of the most simplest in order to generate more leads. Obviously, there's an hour long need to go alongside each of these points, but you get the idea. Appointments booked, a lead seek multiple touch points, highlighting social proof, adding scarcity, all of those types of things. Follow up all new leads as quickly as possible. So Gareth actually wasn't phoning all of his leads at the beginning of the day, just making sure they know where to park and all that kind of thing. So that's something he's now implementing, and hopefully that's going to increase up rate, to your point, Josh. Posting more social proof and organic content to increase intent. So all of your content on your Instagram, your Facebook, there for lead nurture, is solely there for conversion. So a good way to kind of reframe that is, instead of posting videos or photos, the aim and purpose of likes, the most engagement, the most views, try and look at it. How can I have a piece of content which is going to make somebody's intent increase, and therefore more to show up for their own. Posting more member photos on your IG story, thing that we do with every single person that actually closes on the front and take a picture of them holding it. We put that on our Instagram stories. That then fills that gap between leads and appointment books. So if anybody wants to book an appointment, they're on the fence, and then see, 100 people who look just like them take the action before them, so they're more likely to push to do making that decision. In terms of getting everybody from appointment booked to appointment sat, like I mentioned, they're phoning every prospect on the morning of their appointment. One kind of slight reciprocity psychology play is to ask for their t-shirt so you can prepare it. So we have shirts that we give out to all of our new front end sale customers. Review FAQ videos. We actually have something in place. You can see. So this is our scheduled consultation page. So we have like multiple like case studies and all that kind of thing in place. But then we have a separate page which actually covers objections, but it's framed the same as FAQs. So you got Jack there saying we're excited to chat and talk about your goals. Cover each objection with an FAQ. So one objection might be the right time for me to do this. So then we just simply reframe that is now the right time to change. Covers that objection. He then covers this one in terms of bad experience with the PTs. How long until I see the result? Are the sessions want a small group? How much is it to join? So there's minute videos where they're actually getting to see Jack's space, talk to them like they will in the consultation, which covers objections that they may have, and therefore it is more likely for them not to raise those objections in the actual sales process itself. So that's one way to increase the sharp rate. They're not walking the completely unknown. They're actually walking into a consultation where they know fully what to expect, and any question around like price point or anything like that are answered here. Okay, so that's one. In terms of actually making getting more front end sales, one thing to do, wrap offers throughout the year. So we do things like we have stuff which is Christmas themed, we have stuff which is birthday themed, we have bonuses like a first one nutrition consultation, all this kind of stuff that we cycle around the year that ensures that we get much more uptake. We improve consultation and handle of objections. It's all about reps. It's all about kind of just continuously rolling those sales consultation role plays, making sure they're happy with flow, the core, everything which is linked to that whole process, which Jack has got down to an art. We, like I said, we post new member photos on our IG stories. This one's like omnipresent across all of the pipeline. Like this is like a very quick, practical way of ensuring that you get a sense of FOMO in your local market. People want to sign up, they want to stay, and they want to book an appointment. And then finally, the new members part. Last part, in my eyes, is where most people need to kind of really focus on, because everybody, like I said, defaults to I need more clients. But what you got to realize that you don't want to run the risk of introducing new clients to a bad product, because you're essentially wasting us so much money on the table. Loads of lifetime value is going to be slashed in half if your product is not wrapped up in a way that makes people want to stay and refer other people. So your product in itself and the experience that you provide, gym, at your studio, at your training service, or whatever, has to compound itself. So your first person, for example, has to enjoy it so much that they want to tell the next person. The person then wants to tell the next person. And just like compounded interest, that just grows time. But you can't do that with product. So it's really important to make sure that everything like dialed in. And if that means you have to step back in order to then work on more of the wraparound on the product, then you need to do that. That means you need to in to your zone, which is coaching and delivering a great product on the studio, and outsourcing other aspects of business like content and check-in and all that kind of thing, then that means you need to do that. But there's some other things in place of here, like improve your onboarding process. This is a quick win that I introduced literally about 2 months ago, where we're having a lot of questions in that first 24-hour period. And we used to have these answers within like an automatic email and when somebody signed up. But now we've added like videos for every single step you want new members to take. New front-end customers to take, for example. That's something as simple as literally showing them how to work LegitFit on their phone. You like, obviously it's a great product, but when you've got people who are maybe later on in their and they've never really on their phone in order to operate an app is quite overwhelming thing for some people. So that's something that we like to cover here. We provide with their members hand, we incentivize them from the off to refer people. We get in their PARQs and so on. Okay. So that's some of the additional steps that we have to actually improve the product, improve retention over time. Now we go back into this. Other ways in the recommit process. So that what I talked about when you get somebody in 3 weeks in for a progress check-in. What happens within that progress check-in? What happens if for example, if you're doing weigh-ins, body comp tests, or anything like that? What happens if the results are what they expected? What happens not what they expected? How do you kind of navigate that? Get regular feedback from coach clients. Have check your coaches. So survey your clients. Plan meetups. So we have a coffee club the first Monday of every month, where we actually sit down and we give our members a coffee and we talk to them. We figure out what some of their challenges are, and we obviously work through them. We obviously have our events as well throughout the year, which are quarterly. We also reinforce positive results in our Facebook groups. When Debbie hits a newbie, sure as hell every single person in our community will know about it. That then pushes them. That also empowers Debbie. And finally, celebrating it on our social media. We have milestones in place where people reach 100 sessions. For example, they get their own t-shirt, a picture of them. We have like a mini ceremony during the session, and all of those all fun, creative things that you can do. So those are some like really quick fire eyes to improve every step of the time. And just to kind of like finish up here and show you kind of why some of this stuff is so important. It's because, how can it be fair? Gareth, for example, puts in £1,006 to get 200 leads at cost per lead of £33. Whereas we could put in the £3.35, we can essentially 2x free some of his results through have some of this stuff in place. Okay. Also, like even if he, for example, was to increase his retention rate from 38% to 50%, right? Then he would, which is kind of figure, yeah, he would 2x his monthly recurring revenue. So he's just giving himself a 100% pay rise just from figuring out how to retain more members from his front end and to monthly recurring. The answer to him isn't you better ads, you need more leads, because in fact with that what's it called, retention rate, then I would encourage him not to generate any more leads, to generate any more appointments. What you're doing there is you're introducing somebody to a obviously product which isn't actually optimized to retain more than 50% of people. So like I said, he's potentially losing money by running ads or producing more content and get more appointments booked in. Before he did anything, I was like, look, Gareth, we need to figure out how to get more people from sales to new monthly members. And here are some ways on how you can do that. But let's track it over the next month and see if we can increase that percentage, even 1%, 2%, 3%. Because we know if we're doing that and we're heading in the right direction. Okay. So just to kind of finish up here, guys, just to conclude, the metric track: leads, appointments booked, appointments sat, front sales, new business, and ultimately that is our cost per acquisition. We can then use that figure to then scale our advertising, scale our efforts, scale our team, scale anything. And in terms of how that then plays into the grander objectives of the business, we have I've just set up this calculator for you to use, where you can see what basis per lead, and the amount of leads you want to get, how much you're expected to spend, how many appointments need booking in, how many of those are likely to show up, how many front end sales you could, and then how many monthly members you can then obviously put off that as well. You can up against our current numbers if you'd like. Obviously, like I said, we have a newsletter to help with every single stage of this. Or you can put in some more conservatives if you feel like you're at the beginning, and just give you something to work to, because it's a good kind of the baseline in order to obviously overachieve, because then you then start bringing those percentages up and start predicting how you're going to scale. But by doing this exercise, you'll then figure out how much you're likely to make on the front end, okay, 10,000, and then how many you're going to need in order to make that figure on a monthly basis. Okay, cool. Finish up again. Plug. We have a free newsletter called the Fitpreneur. This goes out every single week. It's completely free. We go through every single thing that we're trying. Talk through some aspects I mentioned in today's training and how we can dig deeper in some of those to ultimately increase all of our percentages. And yeah, follow us on Instagram. We're the Cardy Brothers. We're on there all the time. Jack's just started on dinners in case you're a LinkedIn user. But yeah, you're likely to find us on Instagram, and obviously enter in your email here and every Sunday. YouTube, by the way, as well. We've also got a podcast, and it's called the Podcast as well. Well, on a weekly basis, and again, basically, it's a letter but in conversation. Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Jim.
Yeah, I just sort of second the Fitpreneur. It's very helpful even for us in LegitFit, because we get to know what everyone else is working on and what the guys are working on, to just get inspired to see what we want to write content on and all of that. So it's a great way to get some more insights into that. So I would definitely recommend following the Fitpreneur. Any questions for Jacob before we go? No.
Based on how active the chat window was, I'm not expecting many questions. But I mean, like, you got, if you do have any, know where we are. I'll just mention those platforms there. You can reach out to us on, and if you do have one now, then I'd love to answer it. So completely done. This is that awkward etiquette of a Google Meet silence, waiting for me to say anything.
Okay, so we can leave it at that. I will get this recording out to everybody by Monday at the latest. Jacob, if you want to share that Google Sheet with me, and I will get that sent to everyone as well. I actually see Harry has a question there. Do you guys do all of your consultations face-to-face?
Yeah, every single one, and we continue to do that until we physically cannot. But the way we're our studios at the moment is we actually have a studio owner, a studio manager in place, location, and part of their role is to take in face-to-face consults. Just a quick, slight rant on this. Like there's multiple agencies, marketing agencies, or whatever out there. If you sign up with, they will try and fit you into some kind of templated approach, which for them is much easier. So call scripts that they can just give you a script and you can speak on the phone and you can talk it. Our area of where we feel like we have a competitive advantage is certainly local competition, and is that we take 30 minutes of every single person where we sit down, we do a free rudimentary body composite test. We do movement analysis. We walk through the goals. We show them a slide there. We have social and testimonial video up on the screen whilst we speak to them. We make it feel like it's actually a really kind of premium personal thing put up, and they're by themselves. So my advice is, especially if you're just beginning, get as many consultations face-to-face done as possible. Because I mean, if anything, if you do switch to on phone consultations or on the appointments, then at least you're better equipped to do those, because it gives you the most insight. Because body language is something which is really difficult to assess when you're on a Zoom call, when you're on the phone. We do all of our consults face, and we have a flow that we go through, which again, you see one of the newsletters.
Do people have to pay a deposit? What way do you work that?
In terms of the front end offer?
Yeah. Or no, just more so like consultations. So we have a boxing gym, and at the moment we have free trial class. So sign for a free class. But we just find there's so many no-shows. And I think it's because people love free stuff. So they're like, oh, I'll do that. And they kind of sign up, but then when the day comes, they're like, I don't know, or else they always come up with an excuse. So I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on having them pay a deposit or a no-show fee or something?
So it largely depends on your price point and all those kind of things. We're able to have that consultation element in our sales because that front end cash is slightly higher tick. I also run ads for our other open gym location, which is 900 members, and running ads and managing acquisition for the facility is completely. It wouldn't make sense for us to have a consultation with every single one. It's lower ticket. So in that world, I tend to run kind of offers which at least get some buy-in on the front end, because my kind of approach to it is, if I'm going to spend money on ads, on acquisition, I want to minimize that conversion window as much as possible. So we to run ads like a 7-day free trial for that open gym, but finding that ad to sign for the offer, to 7 days being triggered, to then deciding to continue. That was a long period of time. We weren't able to actually see the return as quickly as we would like to then finance into ads. So I always like to kind of get at least see some cash from that particular person, especially within a local radius. Is fairly simple to do within about 3 days. So anything that ends that conversion window just means that you aren't equipped to to the best of your ability to then refinance and acquire more customers. So I always like get some kind of buy-in, because to your point, anybody can grab for free and not have any intention of continuing doing. And then potentially change your offer. We have a no join fee for other gym, and first month half price. So at least get somebody to actually part with cash. But in your world, if you do a day pass, then it might be some either looking to optimize the sense of how do we get more of those 3-day passes to actually convert into customers, and that's something you want to look at. You might want to look at kind of rewriting and changing the offer on the front end to at least give yourself some money to then liquidate your ads. So it's just two go about it. And again, like I said at the beginning, I'm never one of the guys that says no, day passes don't work, should never do those, because there'll be somebody out there, and I'm sure you've experienced they can some sense. It's just all about kind of your objectives as a business owner, and the kind of customer you attract to the businesses as well. because often I've found, like especially with this other gym, is that we run a 7-day free pass. The majority of those people that opt in for that will only have the intent of completing the 7 days and never coming again. I don't want those kind of people in the gym. I want people who are actually going to stick around and actually can commit. Which is why the ads, the content will geared towards finding that specific person.
Cool. Thank you.
Pleasure. Cool. Thanks so much, guys. Like I said, you know where to find me. And have an awesome rest of the day. Thank you, Josh, for organising it as well.
Thank you for joining. And yes, I'll get you all the recording.
Have an awesome rest of the day. Thank you, Josh, for organising it as well.